For the past week, this 1996 Ford Ranger has been my daily driver because my Expedition is in the shop, which means if this thing breaks down, I'm walking. So before I start modifying anything for the channel, I wanted to do a full multi-point inspection and see what kind of shape it's actually in. If you've been following the channel, this Ranger is going to be one of the next builds. But before lowering it and doing anything fun, I wanted to go through a full inspection checklist and basically set a reliability baseline. I've compiled a checklist here to kind of go over. I won't go over everything on this, but basically it's kind of the most important stuff like fluids, cooling system, belts and pulleys, ignition system, suspension, brake system, drivetrain, electrical system, stuff like that. So I'm not actually going to go over all of this. This is a pretty comprehensive list. It'll be kind of a running list, but I'll go over the basic stuff, and some stuff I already know. Like I can even put in the tailgate. The tailgate's kind of broken off. If I can get this to show on camera. So it just kind of falls. You can't close this. It's like not attached right here. You can kind of put it back on there, sort of, but little stuff like that, you know, just to make this a better vehicle to drive on a daily basis. And some stuff I've already fixed, like you've seen in previous videos, linked here, like the battery. I've already serviced the battery because of the door jar switch that wasn't functioning properly, so I've already checked that. Stuff like that, kind of more basic stuff I'll cover as well, but I wanted to have like a list to kind of go by and start checking the basic stuff. And largely the most important stuff like fluids, suspension, brakes, cooling system, everything that could potentially leave me stranded. I've actually been driving this truck all week while my Expedition is in the shop, so this inspection is kind of like a reality check. Does this thing actually deserve to be a daily driver, or I'm about to find a bunch of problems? First thing you should always check on an older truck is fluids. Okay, this engine oil actually looks pretty good. It's at the right level and it's still, you know, mostly light brown, so I think this has got a little life left in it. Okay, radiator coolant looks decent. This tank has seen better days. It's all crusty and, you know, the inside of that's gummed up. I maybe should replace the actual reservoir tank, but the level looks pretty good and the coolant itself looks pretty decent, so I guess that's okay. Cap seems like it's in good condition. I don't actually know what I'm looking for, so I might look that up and see what the cap condition is supposed to be like. But the coolant looks pretty decent. I mean, the owner had it before me. He was actually a mechanic. If you look at my last video, how I got this truck, the previous owner was a mechanic, so I think most of this stuff, as far as the fluids, is going to be pretty good. Brake fluid doesn't look half bad. Looks pretty clean actually, so I guess that'll live to see another day. Let's see, what else do we have? Power steering fluid. Something that gets overlooked quite a bit is the rear differential fluid, but it started raining a little bit and I don't seem to be having any issues with that, so I'll probably check that at a later date. Cooling systems is a really common failure point on the older Rangers, and I checked the thermostat housing and it doesn't seem to be leaking or anything, and I haven't noticed any leaking on my driveway or anything like that, but I will keep an eye on that because if this thing overheats while I'm daily driving, it's game over. The serpentine belt looks like it's in decent condition. I don't see any dry rot or anything crazy on that. The belt seems pretty good, but I'll probably keep an eye on that because if that thing fails or snaps, you're not getting very far. Seems like the alternator is charging, and I haven't had any issues since the initial battery issues when the door wasn't closing all the way. I've already kind of taken a peek at the suspension, but since this truck is getting lowered, I want to see what shape the suspension is, so let's take a closer look. So overall, I would say all the steering and suspension is in decent shape for the year. However, I would say the brake system here is looking pretty rough. So this is super rusted and grooved. The pads have some meat left, although this looks a little, flaked and warped. So I'm not so sure about that. I'm guessing I'm gonna need brakes sooner than later. Everything else is decent shape. I mean, kind of what you would expect for the year, so not bad. Overall, I gotta say this truck is in a lot better shape than I really imagined, which makes me feel really good because I've been already driving it for really like 2-3 weeks now from the time I started filming this video. I feel like everything is in reliable working order. It's definitely not a brand new truck. It's gonna have some issues and some repairs down the road, but I at least feel confident driving this to work every day, and I can get onto some of the more fun stuff. So, fixing, like I mentioned earlier, fixing the tailgate and just kind of little odds and end stuff like that might be kind of more interesting to fix other than, checking oil and stuff like that. And I do have some exciting stuff for this truck in the future. I've got a lowering kit. I'm going to put that on. So stay tuned to the channel, like and subscribe to see some stuff like that. Eventually I want to get some new wheels, stuff like that, but only time will tell what the final version of this Ford Ranger is going to be, but it should be pretty fun, so stay tuned. And please feel free to leave any comments if there's anything major that I'm missing, or if you've had similar issues with a 1996 Ford Ranger or this body style Ford Ranger, this motor, the 2.4 liter inline 4. Please feel free to leave any comments, because I'm actually a beginner mechanic and I'm learning stuff as I go and just kind of doing it myself to save money. So feel free to leave your comments below.